Okay, we've got the starter motor off. There's a one-way clutch on this, but it still seems stiff. I can't turn. Yeah, but anyhow, couple of 8mm at back. We'll get this apart, see what condition brushes are, since it's not wanting to turn over. Only now and again does it want to turn over. There's his new ones. They should be the right size, but I bought the bigger ones, so if they're not, sandpaper. And apart from being a bit greasy, it's not that bad. Although it's very dry at this end, so I think we need to get some fresh grease in this. Not much else to do with it. Take it apart, change brushes, put it back on.
So then I spin it back down to get ready for measurements and click on next. So then it tells you to place your color marking here. Now, for some of you that oil happens in the background, automatically gets saved, automatically gets put to use. And then what happens is,
well, we've got this far, but I can't get that out. I'll push that through.
That goes through the profile.
I don't get what's holding this. Oh, where that wire goes.
Frank asks, should you go above or below the center? I can't give you an answer for that because it depends.
I think we need to see what's under this cap.
They're kind of all over. A Mac, by the way, if you have the reminder set, you want to turn it
Yep,
off.
we've got a clip.
It's under System Accounts and your login items, and it would show up here.
And now we don't have a clip. It's gone on a walk. Well, these are worn down a bit, but I wouldn't have thought they'd have stopped it working.
We're going to go to print settings first. I need to make
There's two on there as well. I know. They're a bit short, but I wouldn't have thought that would have stopped it. So maybe it's got other issues. Series wound, no magnets. You might kind of think that brush has got some good time to go, but you can only use down to where the wire comes on. So you've kind of, you know, it's kind of nearly all gone. More than halfway. So another test you must do is to check for a short between the commutator and the shaft. And I've got my shaft earthed up, or whatever you want to call it, and we're fine. Well, the next job now is to cut this brush off about there, as far to end as we can get, and then we'll have to cut one of these so there's just about that much wire on it, and then we'll have to solder the two together, and hopefully there'll be enough of this sleeve to pull back up and cover it all. And that is an old 90-watt soldering iron, and you're going to need that kind of wattage to do this job. You don't have to have one as old though. Well, here we are with our kit form starter motor, with some assembly may be required, but before we assemble, we'll go through, since I've just disassembled, a bit of theory about how this all works. In the middle we have this bit, which they call the armature. I don't know why, but they do. On the back of it we've got this bit called the commutator, and pressing against that is what they call brushes. Now I think that's because in the olden days they were just kind of wire brushes, but then they went on to a solid brush, and I suppose they just kept the same name. So you apply power to this, and if you had magnets it could spin between the magnets, but this one doesn't have magnets. This one has 4 coils of wire that kind of work like magnets. So this goes inside here, power's applied. I should have had that the other way, because these are the brushes that go onto there, and yeah, the brushes go on there. You put power in, spinny spinny, engine starts. But it's not quite that simple. See, this has to have your power switch on and off, and your ignition switch doesn't do that job. Your ignition switch connects to this tiny terminal here, and that has a switch inside. Can you see that down there? That's a switch. And what happens is, when you turn your ignition, this is another coil of wire that goes in, and when that goes in, it pushes the switch built into the back, which joins these 2 terminals together and connects power to your armature. And in this case, instead of magnets, these stator coils. Stator for stationary, armature for the spinny bit. Now then, this motor on its own, while fairly strong, isn't super strong. So it has a 3-gear gearbox, which you can see them going round in there. So this bit of the motor turns those tiny cogs in there, which spins this piece around, which comes through to here, and then this is the bit that actually starts your engine. Now this chunky piece on here is a one-way thing, so it can only start your engine one way, but most importantly, when the engine does start, the engine doesn't spin this too fast and damage it. It's going to turn that way when the engine starts, and it's not going to turn anything else. This is a one-way system for spinny bits, and it's called a sprag clutch, I do think. Now then, this doesn't keep connected to your engine all the time. The engine's spinny bit is about here, and so there's no connection between your engine and this until this moves forwards. Now as you can see, there's this bit here which is got what they call splines on it, and they're at an angle, so when this spins it helps to push this forwards. And on old-fashioned starter motors, that's all they did, and they weren't that good at jumping in and this cog meeting up with the other one. It'll bounce about and grind, and so what they do with these is they put this arm on here, and this arm is used to push it forwards and back at the same time as the spinny bit. And what moves this arm, we're back to this again, we're back to this one. So when you turn your ignition to start, this is pulled all the way in, this is joining those two together, so when that goes in, this piece at the bottom goes out, and that pushes on this and pushes that into the engine. So that has 2 purposes. One, it's to throw the cogs together, and 2, turn on the power. And that's about it. You know, there's not much more to it than that. Those coils have to sit in this metal tube section. They go into there. This bit goes down the middle into there. That goes back into there. This sits on top to throw it out. And that's about how it goes. And kind of, it's as simple as that. Yeah, simple as. There's not many pieces, is there? They all go back together. Now we've got us brush box back together and us back on, as armature back in its stator coils, and we've got this solenoid with switch plunger arm assembly back together, and you can now see how all this works. So when that goes in, it pushes that piece out, and it's that simple. Should go a bit further than that. There we go. There's a bit to start with, because this has got an elongated hole for that pin, and that allows us to get a bit of speed up as it goes back in, to give that a good whack into the engine, or up against the flywheel. And I said, when that goes all the way back and that's gone all the way forwards, only then has it gone enough to press the switch, which will then start to spin via this lovely gearbox, which has all now been greased back up. Well, down there is the flywheel, which is what the starter motor is going to spin to start your engine. As you can see, there's a bit of wear and tear on it, but it'll do. It's very easy to just push it back in by hand, and once you've got it in with your other hand, stick a bolt in, and then it's just a case of tightening it in. It's got dowels on it, so it's going to locate itself as you tighten it up. There's not much space to swing your ratchet, so it's a bit time consuming, but we're going in. Honest we are. Well, just changed the oil in the van. No wonder it were complaining. That's all that was in. But that was enough. It got oil pressure from that. I'll measure this in a pop bottle. And there we are. About 500 mil or metric pint, and I'm sure there were chunks in it.